Just wanted to give you a quick injury update from the game. Dickerson has a right knee contusion. X-rays came back negative. We'll check in and see if he's available for us to be in the lineup tomorrow. So that was good news. Longoria got through the game just fine. Obviously, we didn't use him. We thought that in an emergency situation, we would be able to use him safely. Again, check in with Longo again tomorrow and see how he's doing. And Craw got through the game just fine. So feel good about our ability to get him a couple of days down and let that hamstring heal up. And from there, I think we can open it up to questions.
Okay, questions for Gabe. Let's go to Alex Pavlovic.
Hey, Gabe, where does that inning against Gallen rank for you this year, just in terms of the quality of the plate appearances?
Yeah, very gratifying. Last night I highlighted Wilmer Flores' play on the attempted safety squeeze as a really important moment in the game, and maybe one that won the game for us. I think tonight it was the at-bats by Sandoval and by Dubon in that inning that really made the difference for us. We were just fighting to just find a way on base. Earlier in the game, it kind of felt like we weren't sure how we were going to score a single run, let alone put up a crooked number and have a big inning. So I really do believe that Sandoval and Dubon's at-bats were huge for us.
And then I wanted to ask you about Dubon specifically. I mean, is that an at-bat he could have had a month ago? It seems like he's just done a much better job of laying off pitches that are outside of the zone.
He's doing a better job. He still has some development left there. I actually think what's separating him from being an excellent major league hitter is just a little bit more plate discipline. We've seen signs of his ability to lay off tough pitches. We've seen his ability to foul pitches off and extend it at bat. Those are certainly great signs, but he still is working to lay off pitches that he can't drive. That at bat was an exceptional example of his ability to get it done.
And let's go to John Shea.
Speaking of plate discipline, do you see more of that with Sandoval as the season's gone on?
At times.
Yeah, it's a loaded question.
No, Sandoval is generally a very aggressive, assertive hitter. One of the reasons that he's so dangerous as a pinch hitter is because he's able to come into a game and get off his A swing in a big count. Candidly, we haven't seen as much discipline as we'd like to see with Pablo. But tonight's walk was huge for us.
Hey, what does it mean to be 500 for a team looking to be in the playoffs? Last time you were 500, it was the 10th game of the season.
Yeah, it's gratifying. It certainly speaks to the fight that this club has. We can go back a couple of weeks and find some pretty heartbreaking losses, and these guys are resilient. They bounce back from those losses. They bounce back from in-game deficits, and I think the character of this team is continuing to shine through. Long way to go, a lot of work left to do, but certainly gratifying to get back to that 500 mark. It's a good step.
Do we know the rotation for Seattle?
I can give you Webb for tomorrow.
And Wednesday is TBA. Okay, thank you.
Right.
And let's go to Kerry Crowley.
Hey, Gabe. Kevin has now had a few of these twilight game starts where it seems like the splitter is particularly tough to pick up. What did you just think about some of the early swings the D-backs took against him and how effective that pitch has been for him this season?
Yeah. Well, you see that shadow that sort of slowly creeps towards the pitcher, and there's that where the ball is going to come out of Gauze's hand in bright sunlight and then kind of disappear into the shadow. That kind of gives the pitcher the advantage. Actually, Gallen had it as well. And you saw that earlier in the game. There were some not the best swings. Gauze didn't actually have great command of his split today, and we saw at times Diamondbacks hitters were laying off it pretty well, which is why his pitch count got driven up, and he had to scratch and fight and claw to keep that thing within 100 pitches through 6. I think Gauze will probably tell you, I don't think he had his best stuff, but he certainly had a lot of guts and a lot of grit and determination today. And I believe it was his 50th win. Pretty significant milestone for any major league pitcher.
And Sam Pasco.
Hey, Gabe, what were your thoughts on how Darren Ruff came into the game a little earlier than expected? 2-hit game. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's pretty impressive to come in cold off the bench like that, have to finish your teammates at bat, and then to grind against a tough major league starter like Gallen. Certainly a challenge, but he was up for it and met it.
Is he going to potentially start tomorrow?
We'll consider what our starting lineup for tomorrow will be.
Thank you.
Sure.
And Henry.
Yeah, Alex had such a hard time trying to walk that off. Did the thought cross your mind, the fear cross your mind that he might have broken it the way Yelich did last year?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about Yelich openly, but I certainly had my concerns about Alex. He's such an important piece of our lineup against right-handed pitching, but just generally a very important piece of our roster. And so I certainly had concerns about what might be. It was certainly great news to come into the clubhouse after the game and hear that the x-rays were negative and that it's a contusion. And I saw him after the game and still have another conversation to have, but it seems like it won't be long.
Did he say was he able to walk a little better than he was just walking off the field when you saw him?
I didn't have any discussion with him about how he was doing walking, but I did talk to Dave Greshner and to Alex briefly, and it sounded like positive news.
Thank you.
Sure.